All right, we can go ahead.
Okay, well, I am going to call the Parking Place Commission meeting to order of September 8th, 2020 at 5:01 p.m. And we'll go to roll call.
Okay, roll call. Chairperson Malfatti,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Abarca,
Here.
Commissioner Monzon.
Here.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Agenda review, are there any changes?
Nope, no changes to the agenda that I'm aware of.
Okay. Are there any oral communications?
Nope, we don't have any members of the public on the Zoom to speak, and we have not received any calls or emails.
Oh, thanks, Jill. Okay, hearing none. Approval of the meeting minutes of July 14th, 2020. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve?
Okay, motion. We'll make motion.
Okay, Dana made a motion to approve.
Okay.
Okay. All approve, say aye. Okay. You approve, Hermes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, motion carried to approve minutes. Okay, items from staff.
Actually, just to clarify, Chairperson Malfatti, I think we need to make a special approval of the minutes from the special meeting from July 28th as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for both.
Special of July 20. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. Okay. So were there minutes of the July 28th meeting?
No, the only thing that we had was for
Rails to Trails walk?
no, the July 28th
That's
meeting.
the special one.
It was
Oh yeah,
it was to approve the waiver of the revenue from the 26 parking meters for the outdoor dining pilot program. And I do apologize, I just sent those minutes out earlier today. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't get to my Comcast email, so I didn't see them. I'm sorry. Commissioner Monzon or Commissioner Barca, have you been able to review those July 28th meeting minutes as of yet?
I did.
Yes. I
Okay.
did them.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion, either of you, to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I will second.
Okay. I'll approve, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Chris, may I abstain since I haven't reviewed the minutes, or?
you're
Okay.
certainly free to do that.
I mean, I'm sure they're in perfect order. I just feel weird approving something I haven't read yet.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, but 2 out of 3 approved, so I would say the meeting minutes were approved. Okay, and then items from staff.
Yes, item 1, discussion on usage of parking lot 18. Christopher Espiritu, Secretary to the Parking Place Commission.
Thank you, Jen. I just wanted to bring up our nope, sorry, not that. Okay, so good evening, commissioners, chair and vice chair. So before we actually do that, what's going on here? I wanted to bring up some concerns that we've heard from one of the commissioners about the usage of parking lot number 18. And apologies, my slides are not working so well. What we know that parking lot number 18 is located on 201 Baden, and for a good part of the day, it's being used as as construction staging or parking for construction workers for the nearby Cadence project. Or sorry, and I know our planning manager, Salish Mera, can correct me on this, but its current usage, at least for part of the day, has been for construction-related parking. And there is a specific reason for that, and I wanted to just bring up any specific concerns that commissioners might have specific to parking lot number 18 on Baden.
Yes, the same. Okay, I'm not following you. Are you talking about 13 or 18 or both?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to speak on both. So we have parking lot number 13, which is at 374 Cypress Avenue. That has previously been used for construction parking or parking for construction workers in nearby developments, and also for parking lot number 18 at 201 Baden Avenue, and being used for the same purpose. But just wanted to double check if there were just specifically what the concerns were, and I wanted to bring Commissioner Monzon up to that discussion.
Yeah, I want to double check with you.
Actually, I have question. You don't have like a slide with the map? Like it will be helpful, like if we will now see the map.
Yeah. Yes. Give me one moment.
Try to get it. What?
Lot 13 is the corner of Cypress and Miller, Dana.
Yes.
While Chris gets that up, good evening, members. Salish Mera, your chief city planner. I can start talking a little bit about this. So with the onslaught of development in the downtown area, we do have a condition that requires construction workers to not park on the street. Construction workers don't always follow that condition. We try to drive it home during our pre-con meeting with the developer and their general contractor. The challenge has been, especially with the two more recent projects, one of them still under construction, the city has had a bear of a time in enforcing that requirement. Who exactly enforces it in which city department has been a challenge. You couple that with the fact that we are down one parking enforcement officer. We are in the process of hiring, I think, one or maybe even two. So that will certainly help. And we have been a little bit more involved in policing construction worker parking. The most notable, more recent, 200 Linden at Linden and Baden. A bunch of their contractors or construction workers were parking along Linden Avenue and surrounding areas. We reached out to the general contractor, told them that this must stop immediately. We worked with them as well as our parking or our fire marshal and building official to see if the existing under construction garage can accommodate some of those construction workers' trucks. The construction worker trucks have toolboxes in the back, which are very valuable. So construction workers like to be able to see their trucks from their job sites, which is understandable. We've now, for 200 Linden, have allocated, I believe, 10 or 12 spaces for those construction workers to park on site. So that has improved over the last couple of weeks. We will do similar outreach with 150 Airport and Cadence Phase 2's project. Their project on Miller and Cypress is anticipated to break ground in the next month or so. So we will be very diligent in making sure their construction workers are parking either in their garage in Phase 1 or in the Miller Street garage, but there is no parking on the street for construction workers.
Great, and thank you, Salish. And so just for reference, right now on the screen should be parking lot number 13, which is located at the corner of Cypress and Miller. And switching it over to parking lot number 18, which is at mid-block around on Baden.
Chris, can I talk?
Yes.
Okay, a little bit of background. Lot 18 was requested to make it available when Pine Fino was under construction, and it was challenging for the businesses on 100 and 200 block. Finally, it was open, but it was kind of towards the end of the Pine Fino. Now that it's open, I think it's a good place for the Baden and Linden project and 150, which, like you said, constructors, they like to see their trucks, and I'm glad to see them that they're using. And my concern and some concern that I came to me were that if somebody is, making sure that they actually, it's like having the monthly permits. And Celis just said that you guys might hire two. That was on lot 18, and on lot 13, it's a little bit different because that one really helps the 100 and 200 block businesses, such as to mention the Napoli, for example. A lot of customers, they go there, and I was just going to ask you if you can allocate a few spaces for the non-construction to make sure the public can access so they can go and eat and dine and on the, especially the 100, 200 businesses, because it's convenient. You know, the other locations like the Miller Garage is a little bit too far for some people. That was so there are two different, hopefully we can accommodate accordingly, right? Because at 6:30 in the morning, everything is full and packed, and I verify that. And so I'm just wondering if somebody in the city is, reviewing it and suggesting it accordingly. And on lot 13, it's being requested a while back with the previous manager. That now that the Cadence construction is done and looks beautiful, the block 13 lacks a lot of maintenance. So if you go right now, the stripes, you can even see it. The conditions of the parking lot is pretty, it's not adequate anymore. I don't think it's even safe. There were some bushes at the corner that was taking care of it. Now it looks safer. But I'm just wondering what would be the plans or what would be the procedure if we can use your input of doing some maintenance, because now it's more, it comes to surface the lack of maintenance. We don't even know which numbers are there. So that's the lot 13. And if you can please, maybe in the next meeting, come back to us and let us know what would be the plan and who will be, doing the follow-up. Because this been requested probably, I don't know, at the beginning of the year. I know you just started in March, but I just bring you up to speed, okay?
Certainly, very quickly, Commissioner Monzon, I do want to let you know that lot 13 was sold to Cadence. So it's part of their phase 2 of their project. So they anticipate breaking ground on that project, as I mentioned, next month. And it will essentially go from Cypress and Miller westbound to about half that block. So that lot will not be used for parking or a laydown yard as it currently is. So it will be improved. Fortunately or unfortunately, it will be improved with a building on top that will be 5 stories. Similarly, for the other lot on Grand and Cypress, that is part of the Rome project, the affordable housing unit, affordable housing project. That it's anticipated that they have received their funding and they will commence construction in the near future as well.
Are you talking the lot adjacent with Bertolucci's, or you're talking the actual parking lot?
So the lot I'm referring to where Cadence Phase 2 will take place is the northwest corner of Cypress and Miller. Maybe, can we pull it up, Chris?
Yeah, let me pull that up again.
We are the commissioners for the parking lot, but nobody but brought down to our attention, at least as a courtesy.
Well,
I'm surprised to find out this way.
let's just first make sure we're talking about the same parcel. So not lot 13 where that P is, but it's that parcel across the street to the north.
Yeah, the one next to Bertolucci.
Yeah, there's a lane that separates them, but correct.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. No, I'm talking about the one before, the one closer
Just
to south, close to the Napoli.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Duly noted. We will. We'll get you an update
Okay.
at the next meeting.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And just to kind of add to that, Commissioner Monzon, I am aware that public works crews are essentially just catching up on a lot of backlog and addressing parking lots as we speak. There's obviously there's a budgetary constraints, or there were plans to do some maintenance and to kind of resurface these parking lots. That all those plans either got delayed or upended by the pandemic. So if that was a request that came in long before my time at the beginning of the year, there's adjustments that is trickling down since then. So we'll keep it on the agenda for the next time and get additional information to report back to the committee.
Thank you, please.
Sure.
Okay, the long-awaited item number 2, the update on the outdoor dining pilot program.
Let me pull that up. I actually have slides for that. I don't know what happened. Apologies. So thank you again for your time. So I just wanted to give a brief update on outdoor dining. So as of actually by the end of this week, let me take a step back, and in our special meeting to allocate parking district funds to support the outdoor dining program. Part of that was to procure the traffic barriers needed to provide visual and physical separation from the outdoor dining spaces on parking areas, and the roadway and the travel way. So we have already procured those barriers. They have already, if you have been in the downtown area, it has been implemented. And actually what you're going to start seeing, or what you have, if you were there, what you have seen is that outdoor dining spaces for at least about 8 restaurants right now are up and running. We had someone from our economic and community development team go out and just monitor, especially this holiday weekend, and people were out. People were taking advantage of the availability of these spaces, and it seems to be working. So A lot of the applicants have elected to build a platform to reduce ADA limitations and make sure that the outdoor dining is actually flush with the sidewalk without encroaching and maintaining that, without encroaching into the sidewalk and actually maintaining that existing 5-foot path of travel that we require as part of the program. So as far as we are seeing at this point that, you know, that this program is working, we are, by the end of this week, there are 2 other businesses that have applied, and we will be looking to install those barriers at their restaurants. And actually we've already hit our program capacity. So we have about 10 businesses that have applied, 10 businesses that will be granted these granted the outdoor dining spaces, and we're in the process of procuring additional barriers for any other restaurants that would want to participate in this program. So far so good. So I think we are in the right track for this implementation, and the response has been really positive, especially for the business and restaurant community. And I believe our chamber president, Liza Normandy, can also speak to that. But so far, that is the update. That it's a good source of this additional income, especially during shelter in place, and given that indoor dining is just not available or not permitted at this point. So.
CEO Liza Normandy, do you have any comments or any feedback from your local restaurant owners?
They are just really thankful to you as our Parking Place Commission, as well as our City Council, for just allowing these 26 spaces being utilized. So, you know, like Chris mentioned, if you have not had the opportunity to go down Grand Avenue, please take a look. They are ecstatic. I mean, I think some of them would like to see this as a permanent thing. So let's make it through the first 3 months first. But, you know, just again, I'm just really signing on tonight just to show you guys my support and my thankfulness representing the businesses. And I believe through an email with Chris today that there could be a wait list. I just got off the phone with Andiamo. So we're going to try to help him. And J&J Bakery is also interested. So as people are seeing what's happening, I think we may have more restaurants than we do barriers, but we'll just take one application at a time. So again, thank you to you and staff for allowing this to happen.
Great. And thank you for your feedback and communications from the business owners. I'm really happy that of the outcome for their sake too, because I know they have suffered a lot of loss in income with this COVID pandemic. Chris, is there anyone from the city that is monitoring, like if the tables are the adequate feet apart, or on the COVID side of things, to ensure that each area is continuing to follow COVID standards as far as spacing and whatnot?
Thank you for that question. We try to kind of front load our requirements. So we have this, like we've discussed before, a lot of our requirements are based off of existing San Mateo County health orders. So I know some of these table spacing doesn't seem like it is, but like it is spaced out. But again, that's a matter of like angle and perspective. But they are, for the most part, they are whenever we would go out and set up these barriers and speak with the restaurateurs, we do remind them is that, well, you know, like, this is the space that you have physically. Now you can see, now you can game plan for how many tables 6 feet apart, and follow like all the maintenance and cleanliness guidance that the San Mateo County Health Department provides, and the state as well. So, and for the most part, we try to check in with the businesses and just, you know, make sure that they're complying with something. And it's fairly easy because it's also outdoor dining. If we see something that's wrong, it's very easy enough for us to, you know, speak with the operator, the applicant, and let them know, hey, you're not supposed to do these things. You know, so. So,
Yeah. I mean, well, as we see on TV,
right, yeah.
younger people have impromptu, rather large gatherings.
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering if it was more on the business owner to kind of watch the county guidelines, or if someone from the city often checks. I wasn't sure. So it kind of sounds like it's up to both, huh?
Yep. As much as possible as both. Yeah.
Very good. Oh, it looks great. Like you say, from the angle, you really can't tell, but it looks wonderful. Yes, Hermes.
Yes, I had the chance to take a look over the weekend, and it looks like very optimistic. It looks ties a tie, and a lot of businesses were having some customers, which is exciting. Thank you for facilitating. But just going back to our previous conversation, Chris, did you have the chance to follow up with the business that is at the corner of Maple and Grand Avenue, as far as now that they have more space on the side on Maple, and they actually provide back the space for the pedestrians? I was going to suggest something. You know, if you see all the businesses that they open, they don't have a barrier. They have the tables and chairs. I was just going to suggest, can they do the same thing, and it will be friendlier approach to their businesses and give back that corner is very busy, and about the safety, pedestrians, walking by. Look into that if you can, please. I think you said you were going to work, but the barriers that what I'm talking is about that when you put the flowers, it looks like it's just taking some, it's creating some, safety concerns.
No, yeah, thank you for that, Commissioner Monzon. We did, especially when we were setting up the barriers for that business on the Bentray business, that we discussed with the applicant and the operator about that concern coming from the community, and that he needs to comply with all the conditions from his previous application for sidewalk seating, and all of that is to provide approximately 6 feet of from where the planters are encroaching and out onto the sidewalk. So we did have him measure it. He was encroaching for a little bit, and he pulled it back, and he's maintained that same thing, because we told him, it's like, if you encroach further into the sidewalk, we shouldn't allow you to have an additional like 3 parking spaces on the Maple side if you're just gonna create a hazard on the Grand Avenue side. So he understood, and that's just by that outreach with the applicant and the operator, that problem seems to have been solved. So, and we measured the space. It's that it's a minimum anywhere for ADA compliance is 6 feet, and he's meeting that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Just to add very quickly to Commissioner Monzon's question and Chris's point, we have conveyed to that business operator that the barriers are a little harsh. They can use a little bit of TLC, so they do have potted plants in there, and they look a little unkempt. So we've asked him to replace those potted plants with something a little bit more colorful, and the same treatment that he's given the other planter along Maple. So he will be replacing that and beautifying the raised planters.
Excellent.
Right.
More inviting for their business. I think will be the benefits for them too. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, are there any other comments regarding the outdoor dining pilot program? Okay, we'll move on to items from the commission. I have nothing further. Do you, Dana or Hermes?
I'm fine.
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
No, I'm fine.
Oh. No, I think I was commenting as that all the things that on each item. I think. Oh, I want to say, are we going to talk about the visit that we did to the trail, or we haven't get to that point yet?
We haven't actually discussed that. That wasn't on the agenda, but we can briefly discuss the that.
Okay, I want to make a comment on that. I did enjoy it. It was a good idea. Thank you. The only favor I would like to ask is if I hope we have more of these ones. Appreciate it because kind of like I pushed it that day, and I would like to see all of my other commissioners also. And I think some of them probably had some, you know, if you can consider that for the next one, I would be appreciated.
Okay.
Oh yeah, me too. Like if you can push the time a little bit around the 5 o'clock, it will definitely work better. Also, a little bit rush. Thank you.
And
Thank you
yeah,
for
no, of course, and certainly, like I know Chairperson Malfatti was not able to join us, and it would have been it had a conflict with work, but we were under specific time constraints, and that was the time we had available, especially because we had a city council member that was going to join the walking tour. But again, like we said during the site visit, that we're happy to do one of these, especially if it's a good way to interface with the other committee members. Then we're certainly happy to host one of these and figure out another field trip or site visit for us to do at a time that works better for everyone. Because I was telling Chairperson Malfatti, I'm very proud of our two commissions here in the traffic safety, because that was the most attendees, and BPAC was a little bit scarce in attendance. So, you know, we want to improve that in the next site visit, just so everybody has the same level of exposure to the projects that are being built in the city, and just the same level of awareness of what we're trying to accomplish within these three commissions and committees. So we'll figure something else out and do this again.
Understood. Thank you, Chris. And usually I don't have an issue, but with the COVID and working in technology and the distance learning, it was, I never know what I'm going to face when I go into the office. So that day, as I feared, was extremely busy with a lot of issues cropping up in technology. But I truly appreciate all the work you've all done for the small businesses, and that Rails to Trails meeting. Again, you know, it's just something that happens. I appreciate you planning that, and no hard feelings on my part. Okay, so if there's no other items from the commissioners, I can adjourn the meeting.
I have one more. One more.
Okay.
Chris and Salish, in regards of the Gateway amenity building that you guys took over there, that you mentioned that would be accessible to the community once they open, and that was part of the, you know, the owners of that building. And just wondering, at the end of Forbes and the corner of Forbes Boulevard and DNA, there is a nice amenity building that belongs to Genentech. Just curiosity, is that all exclusively for them, or that's something that the public could also go and buy some food? It's a beautiful place, just wondering.
Yeah, the amenity building will be open to the public. There will be some private areas, of course, but once things are back to normal, whenever that is, anyone, any member of the public will be able to walk in and dine there, similar to Foundry and Lux, just across the street, and our hotels and bars that are located on the east side of 101.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing no other items from the commission, I will adjourn the meeting at 5:36 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and my sincere thanks for helping out the small businesses on Grand Avenue again. I know that took a lot of work on all of our city employees to make that happen. So thank you again for everything.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So we'll stop this meeting and then we'll see you at the next one. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Ya se acabó.